What is going on, everybody? Vex30 here, coming in with a new video today. And today, the patch notes, or the patch show, was released for Season 3 Paladins. So I'm going to do my stereotypical, what are my thoughts on Season 3 video. Now, we are not going to go every bit and piece of the patch and talk about it. That would take way too long. So, down below in the description will be a link to the patch notes if you want to see all of it. And also, if you look up here, there will be an eye that takes you to a link to my stream that was earlier today that I watched the whole patch show through all 3 hours of it and just gave commentary on it. So if you want to check that out, be sure to click that link up there in the eye section. Also, either later today or a couple tomorrow, I plan to do more in-depth videos on Season 3, mainly with balance, item changes, what I think of it, what it is specifically hi-rez are trying to do with this. So I will do more in-depth videos tonight, either later tonight or tomorrow on this. This is something I really want to start breaking down and kind of getting to the core of it. But today, we're going to give our opinions on what we think are important from the patch. So, without further ado, because this could be a long one, let's jump right into it. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Did you know there is now Vex30 merch? You can show off your favorite support main with style on the street with the classic V line. Be sure to check down below in the description for the link. Let's talk first about overall, Season 3 is a big change. There is a lot coming when it comes to balance, items, and even general game, like outside the game mechanics. So like battle pass stuff, even in-game VGS system, which we'll talk about in a little bit. There's a lot of stuff changing, and hi-rez does this a lot. They make major changes in their games when it comes to new seasons, but in Paladins in general. Now, do I think this is a bad thing? I don't know yet. Do I think it's a good thing? Yes, I think Paladins needed some sort of fresh air, a new wind, a new style. So I think this is going to be a good thing, but it could end up turning south real quick. Do I think it will? No. I think it's going to be a good thing for Paladins, but we will see. So, let's talk about the first thing. Tiberius. Tiberius is a very interesting champion. He is extremely balanced. Like, I was watching the patch show, and it seemed like a lot of people were thinking he was going to be broken, but he's an extremely balanced champion, and honestly, super well designed. hi-rez did a really good job on him. He is going to be one of the better damage champions when he comes out. The way his auto attacks to work, the way he throws them, and the way they bounce is totally new mechanics. His animations are just completely and utterly just sick. They are amazing to look at. They did one of the best jobs I think I've seen in Paladins when it comes to animations. And just the general art style of him. He's a Tigran, which is now the tiger. Maeve is part Tigran. That's why she's got a tail and she has cat ears. That's why this character was just named Tigran in the data mining instead of Tiberius. But overall, Tiberius is a very well-designed champion, and I'm very happy with what they did with him, and I'm excited to see a new damage dealer come in. And the final thing with him are the talents. I'm very happy with how hi-rez made his talents, because there's no one talent that's super OP. What is the first one? Predatory Instincts. Your chakram bounces 2 times, which is your auto attacks. They bounce 2 times, and now they bounce 2 more times. That's pretty cool. Not OP. Tigran's Fury. Your heavy blade, which is the blade that you throw out, and it sticks to a wall, and you pull it back. Again, if you want to see Tigran, you can watch the patch show. It'll be on there, which you can look in the eye section above to watch me commentate on it. But you can reactivate it and it explodes. Not OP. Just changes the way his kit's played. And the last one, Crouching Tigran, which is his jump, now does damage when he lands. All 3 of these just change just a little bit about the style of his play. There's not a single one that stands out that's OP. So I'm really just amazed how well they did on balancing his talent. So there's not one that's extremely overpowered. A quick little couple skins. I want to talk about a couple of the skins because they were pretty good. Overall, I like the skins. I'm very happy with the community. What was it? The community battle pass. These skins were designed by the community, so I'm very happy with them. I don't think there was any real bad ones, though. There's a couple to me that really stood out. The Leanne one very much stood out. It's a very good skin. I think the gun was a little bit overkill. It's big, it's beefy, it's big, but it takes up a lot of the screen, which I've never liked when it comes to FPSs. It's a very good skin, though. I'm very happy with how they did it. The splash art was Alexis Flom. That's the person who made it. That's their ad on Twitter. And actually, the second one I want to highlight is Grover. Again, Alexis Flom, same person. Really amazing job. Just look at this skin. Look how nice it is. Like, I know this is just the splash art, but it looks very similar in the game. The Grover one looks a little bit different. The Leon one looks a little bit different. But even on my stream, I said the Grover one, the splash art looks a little bit better. But the end game is almost as good. But these splash arts are really just a work of art, honestly. I'm very happy with how these turned out. I'm very happy with even the recolors, which I'll throw up on screen real quick. The recolors for both of them are honestly better than the normal ones. And that's actually true with a lot of the recolors lately. Very happy with the recolors, very happy with the skins. The community battle pass is going to be an amazing thing. And the way they changed it was actually pretty nice. This leads us into our next point. They changed the battle pass to have 80 levels, okay? Every single level will be the same XP. There is now 50 challenges that are not locked by battle pass level, and they start from the beginning. So you can start doing all 50 challenges from day 1 on forward. And it's 150k XP per challenge completed. But they're also removing daily login. Oh no, I won't get my 50 crystals every week. But guess what? They are now implementing those crystals and adding some more into the battle pass. Over 80 levels of the battle pass, you can collect 600 crystals. Now guess what? Guess how much crystals, how many crystals a battle pass costs? 600. This was extremely smart by hi-rez for player retention. I'm very happy when I heard that. I'm like, hi-rez, you made a really good choice here. When players see, they're like, whoa, that's a lot of crystals. And they start realizing, if I finish this, I can get the next battle pass. It's just a vicious cycle of the first battle pass being bought and then players retained to do challenges and to complete their battle pass. They want to grind to complete the battle pass so they can get the next battle pass. So they can get the next battle pass. So they can get the next battle. It's a very smart move by hi-rez. And I don't think anybody's complaining about it. There's no reason to complain about it. It's not like it was an OB64 where they made you pay for cards, you know? But, Mountlings. I'm going to show that on screen now. But Mountlings, the characters now lead on their mountain. They're Mountlings. Why is not everybody freaking out about that? It's amazing. There's something really cool about when you're riding your mountain, you're just leaning with it, you know? I don't know, this is just a small thing that for some reason I'm stuck on. It's really cool. Third person removed from casuals. Woo! I'm so happy. They said on stream that not a lot of people use it, but I still feel like a lot of people used it. You know, you'd always feel like, how did that guy see me come? Was he emoting? Nope. Was he on mountain? Nope. He must have been third person or he's cheating. A lot of people have those moments. So just know third person's gone from casual. VGS system rework. I don't like this, but it's overall good for the betterment of Paladins. I've played since Smite, hi-rez games, early on in Smite, and the VGS system is very similar. So when I came to Paladins, I knew the VGS system. I have grown up with the VGS system. Now it's gone. And for all you experienced players, it's gone. But this is a good thing for new players. The VGS system is very convoluted, complicated, and there's way too many buttons. For new players coming into the game, they now have a simplified version of that, which they press a couple buttons, and they removed a bunch of things and added Paladin specific things that just make it easier for new players to get into. And they have it on this little wheel. They honestly did a really good job reworking that. As an experienced player, it sucks, but I can understand why they did it, and it's really good for the overall betterment of the game. And with that, they added ultimate status finally into the game. God bless. They used to have ultimate down, ultimate is ready. Now you can press ultimate status and it says ultimate is up. And if your ultimate is down, it says it, and then it gives a percentage of how close your ultimate is. So when you say your ultimate's down, they look. He's at 15% ulti. That's good to know. That's perfect to know for my teammates. If they say that all the time, and I can always look quickly at how close their ultimate is on the VGS system, it's amazing. And it's something I've wanted for so long, and I'm so happy they're finally implementing it. Season Pass. If you bought the Season Pass, it is now extended through 2020. I mean, that's an obvious choice hi-rez had to make. It was super smart. I don't know how many people actually bought the Season Pass, but them extending it just makes people happy, and that's what hi-rez needs right now, to make people happy with Paladins. So, that is it for the main portion of the non-gameplay changes. Now, we're going to move on to the gameplay changes when it comes to items and balance. We are going to talk about them shortly and give overall opinions on them, but they are long and extensive. So please read along with me and read through the patch notes yourself. Like I said, I will do videos that talk more in depth about them, but let's go ahead and move on to that. So now let's talk about the two final major things on this video: the item changes and the balance changes. Item store changes. Again, please open the patch notes and read them yourself so you know what I'm talking about. It makes full builds possible. The changes they have done have made full builds completely and utterly possible. You can now have 4, 3, third level cards, which is an extremely good change, and it just feels better for the newer player. Like, wow, I'm doing good in this game, instead of why can I only buy 2 level 3 items, you know? It sucks again for the more experienced player because they're so used to the guild system, but I think this overall is a better system. You start with 450 credits instead of 400 as well. So now, with all the items being reduced in price, you can start multiple good items, and the game is going to change. Paladins is basically, this is Paladins 2. Not really, but kind of. The game has changed that much drastically with the item changes and the balance changes. The core gameplay mechanics are the same, so you can't consider it Paladins 2. But you can consider it Paladins 1.5, because the changes are so major to the in-game meta. It's kind of actually crazy. But what this does is normalize it from early to late game, which again, the new player experience is what Paladins needs. The new player experience, which they should add a better tutorial and stuff like that. People have actually brought the idea to me to tell them, but like, overall, the new player experience will be better because the items are more simplified. Now you can buy more of them and you can buy a full build. There's something satisfying about having 4 level 3 items. It's very simple things that keep players in touch with Paladins. So I think this is actually overall generally a good change. It just levels the playing field throughout the game from early to late game. With the changes to caught, for instance, it's, what is it, 20, I can't remember, it might be 25, 50, 75, or that's wrecker. 20, 40, 60 is caught. 60% caught? That's extremely low. And that's going to help with, so say we move on to a sustain meta, right? Hold on, I'm looking to make sure I am correct about that. No, I am wrong. Sorry, it is 25, 50, 75. So the caught changes, it's going to level the playing field throughout the game. Late game, cauterize won't hit as much, but healers won't heal as much. So it's just going to change the balance of the game. Wrecker, though, shields became way more prevalent. It's at 20, 40, 60. Shields became way more prevalent, even though they nerfed tanks damage, and people are like, oh, tanks are bad. No. Tanks had a power shift. That is the name of this patch, power shifts. Tanks went from damage dealers to actual tanks. Their power has been shifted to a different place, which is amazing. That's what these card changes did. It'll be different for us more experienced players, but please play with it and try to learn it and see how you feel after a couple weeks. Don't immediately rag on it, because this is overall, I think, a good change. The cards are going to affect the meta, though. The way the cards are now are going to affect the meta. Take, for instance, Rezi being nerfed to 60%. That helps, you guessed it, Maldamba a lot. You probably didn't guess it, and it's an example. You probably didn't figure that out. But it helps Maldamba a lot because Damba was affected by Rezi heavily. And Damba actually, I think, is the best support in the game with the new season. But that's for another video. Little spoiler there, eh? But with the Rezi changes and the different changes, which I want to get into more. Like I said, I want to do more in-depth stuff on this, but this is overall opinions. And this is just one thing that literally just top of my head. First thing, Rezi going only 60 at max helps Damba 10 times because he is such a utility-based support with his ultimate and his stun. It's amazing. I love it. I actually love the new item changes. I hope when I get in game, it feels as good as it looks. I'm very, very happy with them changing it. It's going to suck for a little bit to learn the new changes. Like I said, experienced players, be warned. But I think it is a good thing overall. And I'm very, very happy with what they did. I think some of the cards are not going to be as good and items will not be as impactful as they were before. But they will still affect the game. And it will totally change the meta of the economy of Paladins, which is more of an older player and a more experienced player term, like the economy of the buying cards and knowing what to buy and when to buy. That will change, and I'm happy. It just blows a fresh air into Paladins, and I'm excited to see what it brings. Now let's talk about balance. This sounds weird because 90% of the page is balance, but there isn't much to talk about when it comes to balance. Because the changes are so drastic in some cases, it's hard to tell how good they're gonna be. With the changes to the items and the changes to the characters, it is gonna be very, very difficult to tell who's gonna be meta, what's good, what's bad. There isn't much to talk about here. I think some of the balance changes are just so out there that it is so hard to get a grasp until the PTS. Which, on that note, if you haven't joined the PTS and you haven't downloaded it, which I don't think it's up by now, and by the time I post this. Hey everyone, FutureVex here. I figured I'd give you a quick little video show how to join the PTS. So open up your Steam, click on store. As soon as you get to store, on the top right, search the store, type in Paladins. Paladins, click on Paladins, takes you to the main page. Scroll down just a tiny bit until you see this thing. Notice, want to participate in Paladins public test? Click here. Click here, install the PTS, and join today. So please know where to download it and get it when the PTS comes out, and play and give feedback. That's what hi-rez is looking for. That right there, you. I'm looking at you, Jimmy. Jimmy, your feedback is going to help this game and help this patch be good or bad. Jimmy, if you don't give good feedback, not even good feedback. If you don't give feedback, Jimmy, this patch could go down the hill. They are looking for a lot of player feedback, and it is so important that us, Jimmy, the players, give feedback on the patch and tell them how these balance changes are. Because there's so many changes. That's this whole section of me talking. It's just saying there's so many changes to talk about in an overall video. It's too much. It's too much to talk about. That's why I'm gonna break these balance changes down in different videos, and I'm gonna do section like class based. But that's it for balance. Please play PTS and give your feedback to hi-rez. I will do it, and I will give my feedback via video and direct contact. So please give your feedback. But that is it for balance. Again, it is too much to talk about. There's way too much there to even start to talk. But the final thoughts in this video, I think Season 3 is going to be a good thing overall for Paladins. Like I said earlier, a breath of fresh air is exactly what Paladins needed right now. There isn't much going on for the game, and I think a whole new updated economy, meta, everything will get people back like, whoa, look at all these changes. I want to see how this works. And then when you combo that with the changes to the battle pass and the player retention mechanics that are now in the game, which considered like the crystals a player retention mechanic, which if you don't know, player retention is keeping players playing the game, which is very important for free-to-play games. Players playing your game is the most important thing. So player retention is a big thing for Evil Mojo, and I think Season 3 will be that, but it is too soon to tell if this patch will burn in flames like OB64 or rise to the skies like Paladins should. And I hope everybody enjoyed that video. The balance section was probably a little disappointing, but there's nothing to talk about. There really isn't. It's too much to go over, too early to tell if it's going to be good or bad, the balance. But the rest, I hope everything made sense. I hope you enjoyed my opinions on it, and I also hope you enjoy your day, night, evening, morning, dawn, dusk, whatever it is where you live. And I will see you in the next one. Later.